Hi, good day there, and welcome back. Um, Today, I just want to show you a bit about Israeli and Palestinian casualties. Sorry, I'm both tired and we all are just exhausted by the 5 weeks with intense killings of Palestinians. Now we have over 10,000 uh, actually Palestinian deaths, probably 2,000 Israelis. But I would just like to highlight how the statistics is, because we just don't always seem to understand the leverage and the scope of numbers. Actually, we're just people are just too fast with taking side, especially people in US and Europe can be very pro-Israel. So view photos and try to not. Okay, I have to go back again. Sorry about that. Here we go, fellas. This year, Palestinian killed in right, in left. Most of the Muslims actually. Many of them very young, 16-year-olds, 14-year-old, 17, 19, 20, 22, 17, 16, 18-year-old kids. Seventeen, 16, 10, 5-year-old, 9-year-old, 58, 17, 15, 14, 16, 14, 22, 16, 16 again, 17-year-old, 14-year-old, 17-year-old. And that is what I would like to just present here. I mean, who kills children in the world? And that with either by armed forces by large, but also other civilian Israelis. Most of them have been killed by Israeli soldiers, and it's your responsibility because you send your nationals from Europe and from USA to join the Israeli army without punishing them with, that should be a minimum 15, 16 years imprisonment, probably 20, 30 years as well. I mean, if you do money related fraud in US, then you have at least 10 year in jail. And if you kill someone, then you can, I think it's 20, 30 years almost. But for the sake of humanity and human rights, obviously it just does not work at all. And that is how corruption is throughout Europe, through corruption in US as well. People, institutions are paid and bought up actually with money and power. And it's primarily pro-Zionist backed politicians and also other lobby groups and so on. So I'm not saying here that it is just a problem with Jewish. It's just not that easy. Christians, Jews, Muslims, Hindus, Buddhists, Taoists, Shintoism, Zoroastrians, Humanetics. You have to all get together and stop this complete madness into the Third World War as we are just about to enter. And I would like to confess that the Third World War, in its not essence, but what should we say, in by very early means, has actually started the Third World War, but it will grow over the years, and I just hope that, of course, that no one needs to use nuclear arms. There is too much devastation, anyways, and Israel can't exactly nuke Palestinians because that would certainly affect them as well, or their nationals. So I'm not sure how far IDF and Israeli commanders actually think around things. The war can't make wars in a very short time period. But so I hope that all of you, of course, understand that this is a madness where, in the 60s, um, how many, 800,000 Palestinians were abolished from their homes and land, and over 300,000. And now you have new settlers on Palestinians' homes and ownership, where over 700,000 and more. So where did all those 3.5 million Palestinians go, or 4 million? they die out, and many become refugees. And this is, mean, you can't expect the UN to do much more with it as well. I mean, 70, 80 by 5th of November, 6th, almost 100 UN employees just lost their lives. And, attacking hospitals, attacking schools, kindergartens, barnhagar. Would you really like or accept that your hospitals or your homes or your children's schools, kindergartens, and so on, playgrounds would be bombed every week? No, absolutely not. But that is how, you know, the Western conspiracy is with abolishing and with that Islamophobic strategies. I mean, there are hundreds of thousands of Muslims, millions of Muslims in Europe and even in yeah, Asia, Africa, and USA, but are just being discriminated like this. I mean, we can't actually raise our voice as we want, and that is very, very shameful. I want you to look into UN's Human Rights Charter, their sustainability goals, and so on. You can also pressurize your governments or ask Bill Gates Foundation or Soros Foundation or Rockefeller and all the other hundreds and thousands of NGOs to actually abolish companies in Israel. I mean, it's not an attack on the Jewish people. It's just that Jewish also should just try to leave Israel if they want to save their lives, and international companies should try not to be based in Israel unless we have a 50-50 1967 declaration. So that's what I demand, that 50% of the land are reverted or goes back to Palestinians, and then we can find a solution for Israelis as well. We're not saying that they should not have a place to live for themselves, but it looks like that US and yeah, will help. Not both will, but is helping Israel with very deadly weapons, armor, and capital as well. And India has some 20,000 inhabitants in Israel, and India has a couple of 100,000, no, 80,000 probably Jewish in India, probably less. And Ukraine, linked with Israel, has also probably, yeah, up to 200,000 Jewish, maybe less, maybe it was 80, 90,000. I'm not fully sure about it because it is the ex-Soviet states. But however, anyways, I'm not after Jewish people in Europe or Jewish in yeah, America as well. It's just that people have to wake up. Um, Although your relatives have uh, survived or not survived Holocaust and all that, I've been visiting. I visited Auschwitz in 2014. That's in East Poland, and yeah, it was actually a horrible place to visit. But yeah, that happened with European Jews, and that was not a Muslim conspiracy exactly. So don't blame Muslims for things, or do this with very um, kind Muslims, because Muslims have probably fought, yeah, until some years now, less wars than yeah, Christians and others for the past 2-3 thousand years, obviously. So and I will also just make a humble but strong commitment that you also try to follow the deen, the message of Allah, our God. I'm born in Norway and spent. My father came to Europe by the end of 1970, so I've also, lived as a second generation European all my life, and now up in the almost mid 40s. So life isn't easy, and life isn't fair as well. But we should try to, you know, have faith in God and do the right for ourselves and others, because everyone is going to die someday, and if we just think that okay, you can call Son of God or God's selected people or whatever you want, but don't expect God to be merciful with you unless you actually have mercy upon the humanity, you know, the people in this world. And, we have almost 2 billion Muslims, and there are Muslims everywhere. We are becoming uh, almost a minor majority in at least some places, and we could make many things together, and people are very educated and all that as well. But uh, there is certain discrimination from the financial and sector and bank jobs and all that, which we know that the Jewish controlled for a couple of hundreds years ago, and that's probably where the prejudice and the dislike of Jews also come from or bring in. But we need sort of a new world order where we have more focus on yes, peace and a bit more divinity, so that people are better prepared for the end of life, or the end of times. There are many things we can read about uh, on the internet, Facebook, and all that. And I'd hope that you just don't devastate your mind and life based on lies, which will not help you after this life at least. And I think we should pray for ourselves and others so that God make us right in this life and make us take right decisions. Now, I've been speaking for probably 5, 6, 10 minutes. Still, you'll see that uh, we went down from 23, and now we are here at January 2022. Only Arab names by large. December 21, November 21. So, um, what else would I like to say? Yes, that Netanyahu is removed and sentenced with a jail imprisonment, and that you can also change out your army leaders, chief of staffs, and yeah, rear admirals in the 40s and so on, because yeah, as a general, you just don't drop 2 ton yeah, bombs and so on houses and buildings where full of children lives, and pregnant women and small children. You know, uh, yeah, yeah, it's difficult to actually speak about it because I've seen so much of it. Um, and you should also expect that all this madness is stopped. You don't need to join an army if you don't want to, but we should support the Arab alliance with what is that? Probably not Jordan, Yemen, Qatar, Libya, Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, probably Turkey, and Africa, our brothers in Latin America, Canada, Ireland, and so on, who uh, have been selfless in recalling their ambassadors, stopping up the diplomatic ties and relations for at least a while, because you just don't go in and kill 10, 20,000 people in 2 months. And there are two reasons for this. The one is that they want complete clean sweep over Gaza, so that they can build their own properties and all that. And the second reason is that they want to very fast now, quickly develop their oil and gas, or develop to produce oil and gas as fast as possible. So then they have occupied Palestinian uh, areas, in west, in the west towards the sea, and that's what they are doing. So thanks all everyone for listening, and sorry about a very unprepared uh, show up presentation today, because I've just not been ready for this, but looking forward to say something more about this a bit later. Thanks a lot. Take care.